Well, the only state Liberal Party in more trouble than the Victorian Liberals are the Western Australian Liberals, who don't appear to exist as a concept anymore. But as far as anyone can tell, and as you've touched on here this morning, the career politicians have a tendency to feed the monster of growing state power. Now, you're down in the thick of it in Victoria, where it has to be one of the worst examples of expanded state power that we have ever seen in this country. Is the big state of Australia getting too big?
It got too big 10 years ago, 20 years ago even. There is nothing worse than a big state. You know what? I actually think, I'm not sure on the numbers exactly, but I think that the biggest employer in Victoria is actually the Victorian state government. They employ more people than any other business in the state. And I think that that's absolutely shocking. There is nothing worse than big government. Nothing worse. It's inefficient. There's too many layers of bureaucracy. You can't get anything done. Everything becomes too difficult, too expensive. Projects are always running over time. It's just an absolute cluster F of a state at the moment. You know, if you want to be successful, if you want to have a better quality of life, what you need to do is you need to remove regulations and you need to let the free market do what a free market does best, and that's reduce costs, improve productivity, and make everyone wealthier. And it seems what's happening in Victoria right now is we're rejecting all those ideas. We're going backwards. We're sliding very deep into socialism. You know, I would argue, one day we could even be, staring down the barrel of communism if we keep going down the way that we're going right now at the speed that we're going. So it's up to people like myself and people like you sitting at home right now but are watching this broadcast to put a stop to it. And you know what? The great thing about our country is we live in a democracy. You can have your voice heard. And I think people like me are actually in the majority. But the problem is, as Donald Trump would say, we're the silent majority. We don't want to get out there. We don't want to have our face seen. We just want to kick back, be left alone, raise our kids, and live our lives. But you know what? The left don't do that. The left are like militants. We have to become more like the left in the fact that we need to get out there and we need to make our voice heard. We can't sit back anymore, because if we keep sitting back, things are going to keep sliding the way that they are, and it's just going to get worse and worse.